Is LeBron now just telling grandpa tales? People are dragging him. I don't know which it's for, whether he's lied about watching the Godfather movies and then isn't able to recite anything from the Godfather movies, or saying that he was on Migos before anybody else was, saying that he was touting them in 2010 when their first mixtape was in 2011.
Dan, he knew Migos before Migos even started. Can you imagine that?
He's such a great bad liar because, like, he says everything, like, so charmingly and confidently. Like, there's a clip that I saw last week or the week before where he was on, like, a British soccer show or whatever, and they were talking about the team that he has, like, part ownership in, and he was, like, just naming very basic things that happened in the match the week before, and, like, they were kind of onto him, and then at one point, one of the hosts turns and goes, LeBron, you know that whatever the person's name was, I don't know who these people are. It's like, you know, whatever this person's name, he was a great on this team. Did you know that? He's like, oh, yeah, no, I knew that. Great to see you again. Like, it's so good to see. The guy lies about so much and just gets away with it because he's charming and, like, who's going to call him out on it, which is the best part.
In this clip, he, like, says he did it. He's like, you could ask my teammates, I swear. Yeah. Like, he, like, says something that a liar would say.
I've been listening to those guys for so long. I was listening to those guys when my first year with the Heat in 2010. And you can ask any one of my teammates back then, had no idea what one of those was. They were, like, cursing me out when I would play it throughout the weight room, play it throughout the locker room.
This is Stugotz.
I'm telling you, these guys are next. I'm letting you know right now these days, like, turn this off. I don't want to hear this. And just fast forward to me, just knowing I'm going to take off personally and send my condolences to Quavo and the family and the whole QC family and everybody.
We should say, like, this is all very sad because Takeoff was shot dead, and Migos were hugely influential, and they had their time in the sun. But that reminded me a lot of Stugotz. Just say it in passing. You got 2010, 2011 confused, fine. But he's like, no, ask all my teammates. It would curse at me because they hated Migos. But
you guys hated it. I loved it, though.
I loved Migos. LeBron James is having a worse season than Russell Westbrook quietly. From a shooting perspective.
Statistically?
True shooting percentage.
Yeah, can't shoot all of a sudden.
True shooting percentage, Russell Westbrook is shooting better than LeBron James. The three-point shot has deserted LeBron James at this point so far this season, and it's, there's signs.
Is true shooting percentage like the feels-like version of temperature?
Yes.
It's like, this is what your shooting percentage is, but this is what it actually is.
Right, so LeBron is technically better LeBron is smidge better from the field, but he's shooting so poorly from beyond the arc that Russell Westbrook is shooting 6 percentage points higher than him. And when you consider the difficulty in the shot and how much more they're worth and the similarities in free throw attempts, the true shooting percentage is that Russell Westbrook is a better, more efficient shooter.
Bill Simmons is saying, and this makes sense, as weirdly, Utah 8-3 somehow. Utah is good and the Lakers are terrible. They look like one of the worst teams in the league. Bill Simmons is saying Anthony Davis is available for trade. It's one of the few things that they have that would have any value, although I don't even know how much value it would have. But there is no way the Lakers just stay this way, right? They have to do something. They're not just going to be terrible but not the worst team in the league so that they can get Wembanyama.
I think they're going to be terrible this year. I really do. I think that it's done. Once the window closed on them getting Kyrie, and now I think no one's really going to sniff around Kyrie anymore. Kyrie would have really fit that team well. I think they just look for the day where their books are clear, these contracts, and they just try to work the free agent market. I really do. Why not build up some assets? I think you mentioned that they finally see the light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to getting some of their picks back.
Well, they can't get Wembanyama because the New Orleans Pelicans have the right to swap picks with them this year. Oh,
that's right.
And so the New Orleans Pelicans, who I presume made that trade with the 25 picks and the 27 picks are the ones that are actually of interest here. You sort of figure in a post-LeBron and AD world, we can maybe clean up on the Lakers. But it's wild that they can maybe clean up on the Lakers while the two of them are still there. And LeBron, while not shooting well this year, has played at a reasonably high level for the entire time that he's been there. He's not fallen off dramatically. It's Anthony Davis who's the one who's fallen off, which is why the notion of them trading Anthony Davis now makes no sense. You're trading him at a low watermark, and you're essentially saying to another team, come get Anthony Davis for 80 cents on the dollar, and maybe they'll live to regret that one too. I understand their need to just sort of do something, but this is the position that they put themselves in by virtue of trading for Russell Westbrook, by virtue of giving up everything to get Anthony Davis. They have nothing left to give. And so they do just kind of have to wallow in it. They do kind of just have to, and unless LeBron orders the code red on Anthony Davis, who he brought into his agency so that he can bring him to Los Angeles, that would be a pretty bad look for their agency. Of it, like, hey, as long as you don't do well for me, you're out. You're going somewhere else. I just kind of think that they have to hope Anthony Davis gets better. That's their only solution to this.